Hi guys, welcome to the Dogecoin Wyckoff technical analysis session. So let's dive into the charts and see where Dogecoin is heading. Here, we're looking at the weekly chart of Dogecoin, and last week as well as this week, the price range isn't very huge compared to a few weeks back. So as of this moment, in terms of Wyckoff, it may be going through a last point of support period, and if we check the Bollinger Band curve squeeze, the squeeze I would consider has already started. If it really trades at narrow range again next week, this purple would likely get into the orange curve. That means the squeeze is or has officially happened. But given those two lines at the bottom are already very close, to me, I usually consider that's already happening. So when the squeeze happens, that means it has gathered sufficient force to push the price to either up or down. But hopefully, this time, given the Wyckoff stage it is at, it's going to push the price to the upside instead of the downside. So I say the probability of it going up instead of coming down for a deep test would be larger. Not that it's totally zero chance to come down for another test. So I'll put a tag here because it's still possible, just less likely. Here I would put, oh actually not this tag, it should be PSY. So the path towards a new buying climax. We don't know where the buying climax would be yet, but these two would be happening in the next few weeks. So why I say in the next few weeks? Because if we look at this upward channel upward support line, this dashed line, not the channel. So if I extend it further, here the cross is near the end of September, and next week we're already entering September. A lot of times the price doesn't go to the very tip before the big move happens. So anytime in 2 to 3 weeks, that price surge or breakout of the outside of the dashed line, below the dashed line, would happen. So September is the time. Whether it's a launch or a crash, that's the timeline we're looking at right now. So that's the macro. And if we look at the micro, here a squeeze has definitely happened. So even though the weekly hasn't, the purple lines hasn't gone into the orange, in the daily chart it has obviously gone inside for 3 days at least already. So when this happens, well, it can last for a few more days. Sometimes it lasts for an entire week or even 10-12 days before the actual move comes. But it's definitely within the squeeze zone at the moment. And looking at the volumes, these white bars, meaning the price went up, especially the candlesticks themselves, seems to be showing there's quite good support. You see these two candles, the wicks are at the bottom, meaning there are people supporting the price, pushing it back to where it started for this week's candle and where it's ended for last week's candle. Not last week, yesterday. We're looking at the daily chart. So both today and yesterday, the price has been significantly supported over here. So the bulls were pouring in quite some force there to keep those candles over there. So hopefully we're going to see an upthrust for the daily chart. If not, if this is really just an LPSY, because I put a tag over here, I might copy one as well. If it doesn't go to the upthrust, then the lower chance scenario would be the second sign of weakness is coming. So hopefully that's not the case, especially if you are bearish for Dogecoin. because currently it's, you may say it's like comparing to last distribution cycle, we are way further than the last one. So from buying climax to where we are now, it's been 35 days. Last time from the buying climax to where it started to fall, that was only 20 days. So we have already doubled the time this time in this distribution. So if we're hoping it to go further up, then this distribution cycle in the daily is going to go on, and what it means in the weekly chart is that it goes to the PSY, but a lot of time the PSY isn't always straight green like this one, not green like white over here, meaning every candle is having a close price higher than the open price. So here we see an example. The PSY period, there were red candles over there. Likewise for this one, red and green combined, or red and white combined. So when this happens this time, if it comes to here and then also do a red candle, then in the daily chart, that may mean it goes to the up thrust and then shows us an automatic reaction and then goes further up for an up thrust after distribution. So that's the linkage between the charts across the two timelines. So now we're just waiting for the boost to happen, given the squeeze has already started for a few days. So let me draw one more line trying to gauge when the latest it may happen. So similar to the line I've drawn in the weekly chart, this is the upward support. So we've got one over here. I just want to synchronize the two, so I'll keep this at all intervals while I'll take away the one in the weekly chart. So that should be fine. Yeah, so there we are. Just need to bring it down a little. So this cross over here, again, same, end of September. It's going to tell us, is this going to break above the red key level, or is it going to come back down? And in candlestick patterns analysis, this is an ascending triangle, and an ascending triangle usually means the price will go up eventually. So let's see whether this is the case this time, and that Dogecoin is finally heading through the 0.25 key level once again since end of July. So end of July, July 20th to 22nd, stayed above that level. So this time, maybe not only above the red, but also going to test the orange at 30 cents. So that's pretty much it for Dogecoin. Finger crossed, especially if you are in the bull team. Good luck to you. Hopefully